yeah, I ball. Yeah, I ball. Zone beats, boy.
Subscribe to Kiwi Box. That's the one.
Kia ora team. So I have an article here from Boxing Scene. I'll leave it in the description. You read it, come to your own conclusions as usual. But Eddie Hearn has signed a very promising prospect to DAZN and Matchroom UK. Filip Hrgovic has been signed on a co-promotion deal, as Sauerlands promote him usually, but they've teamed up, and Filip Hrgovic is going to be debuting in the USA on DAZN very soon. Now, for those of you who don't know who Filip Hrgovic is, he is the bronze medalist from the 2016 Olympics. He was beaten by Tony Yoka in the semi-finals. But the fight itself is available on Daily Motion if you want to go check that out. I thought Filip Hrgovic won that fight quite comfortably, yet the judges still gave it to Tony Yoka. And of course Tony Yoka went on to win the gold medal. So it gives you an idea of the quality of Filip Hrgovic. In that fight in particular, there were some amateur traits that he seems to have shaken off quite well since becoming pro. He hasn't been pro for long. He's only had 7 fights. However, he has fought some pretty decent competition for a up-and-coming prospect. They're moving him along very fast. He's fought Kevin Johnson. Granted, Kevin Johnson has lost a few fights recently. He's finished pretty much. He's an old wily dog who was good at counter punching, but he doesn't have any offense anymore. He's durable, so he's good for prospects to get some rounds in. He's stopped Amir Mansour. That's a pretty good achievement in itself. No one has actually legitimately stopped Amir Mansour before. Yes, Dominic Brazil beat him on paper, but if you watched that fight, Dominic Brazil had been on his ass in that fight. He was getting beaten convincingly, but Amir Mansour bit through an artery in his tongue and had to retire on a stool. Amir Mansour has been in some pretty decent fights against the likes of Travis Kaufman. He got a draw against Gerald Washington, so on and so forth. So I think that's the most reputable win on Hrgovic's record to date. But he's also beaten some other stiff competition in Sean Big Sexy Turner, who's a very durable, underrated fighter. He's a guy who's fought some decent guys and lost, but he's pretty tough. He's also fought Tom Little, and in his very first professional fight, he fought Rafael Zambano, who used to be called Rafael Zambano Love, who has been an opponent for the likes of Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Shannon Briggs, Andy Ruiz. Granted, he's lost them all, but you know, as a debut, that's not too bad. So the quality of Filip Hrgovic is definitely there. They're moving him along fast, and I think this co-promotion deal is going to move him along even quicker. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see Filip Hrgovic fight a decent opponent on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. But if you're a heavyweight fan, this is a guy to watch for the future in the next 2 or 3 years. I see him possibly being a world champion, or definitely being at least a very strong contender, being a top 5 in the next 5 years easily. He already holds a WBC belt of some kind. I can't remember off the top of my head, sorry. It might be the WBC International, something like that. So he's in the rankings already, even though he only has 7 fights. Now he's a big guy. I think he's 6'6" or 6'5". He's pretty quick. He hits very hard, and he's got a good gas tank. Don't know how much of a chin he's got so far as a pro, but by all accounts, he's taken some shots in the amateurs at the very least and come through without going down. So he looks like he's really the goods. And what I'm saying is, keep an eye on this guy. I think he's the most promising prospect on the planet at present, including Tony Yoka. I don't know, Efe Hrgovic's right up there as well. He's a very good prospect as well, but Filip Hrgovic is moving along a lot faster than Efe Hrgovic. So for me, he's the best prospect on the planet at the moment. And like I'm saying, you really got to keep an eye on this guy. And I think Eddie Hearn has made a very good business decision getting him on the DAZN books in Matchroom UK. So let us know your thoughts about Eddie Hearn signing him, who you think he may fight next, and do you think Filip Hrgovic is a potential world champion for the future? Looking forward to interacting with some comments. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Big Boys Boxing, we out. See you!
La la, yeah, boy. La la, yeah, boy. Zone beats, boy.